It's Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I live in Maine, USA, and I am here for your weekly card class from Maine. It's Monday evening. It's 7 p.m. live on Facebook. Hi, everybody over on YouTube. I will be putting this video over there, and hopefully my quality of video will be good. I think last week's quality of video was not good, and I don't know why it didn't download well. So I apologize for that over on YouTube. But hopefully tonight we will be a little bit better. I did play with my webcam this week to try to see if I could straighten things out a little bit. I'm also trying to figure out if my autofocus can be shut off so it's not quite as fuzzy and blurry. So fingers crossed, we're gonna have a really amazing card class tonight. Hi Lexi, so good to see you on here. I'm glad you can hear and see me. Thanks for saying hi. So we are doing the Cutest Cows today. The Cutest Cows Bundle is in the spring catalog by Stampin' Up, the January to April. It is an adorable stamp set with a really sweet builder punch. Hi Lois from New York. Hi Patty. Patty's from right in the same town that I am, right? Patty's from Carmel, Maine too. So it's so good to see a few of my friends on here. I really appreciate you taking a little bit of time and hanging out with me today. I'm going to get us over to my workspace because we're going to talk about how cute the cows are. I'm also going to answer my cow trivia question. So if you're following me on Facebook, I posted today two truths and a lie, because it's kind of fun just to play a little bit about cows. Yes, I come from a family that is has raised cows, right? So both my paternal and maternal grandparents had cow farms at one point. I raised a calf when I was like a teenager. And so I had some cow stories to share, and yes, I do like cows. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my two truths and a lie, because I do have some funny cow stories. We'll talk about those while we're stamping, and if I forget, just try to remind me. I pop over and look at comments every now and again. So let me get us over here to the workspace. Hi Flo, good to see you. Hi Lori. So just continue, please say hi when you jump on. I love to know who's hanging out with me. So as promised, this is the Cutest Cows Stamp Set. It is photopolymer. I did just play with this today for the first time, and a really sweet builder punch. Now builder punches, as you may know, punch out more than just one shape. So for example, this is not a builder punch. This is actually an old punch. I just grabbed a punch, a random punch, right? It's a shape, one shape, you get one shape out of it, right? A builder punch allows you to do punch art. If you're familiar with punch art, you know that you can take all kinds of shapes and create art with them. And if you are not familiar with punch art, check it out on Pinterest. Go Google punch art. Punch art is amazing. So with the builder punches, we have the cow's head, the cow's body. We have a little spot. So if you wanted to not use the coordinating stamps and just use the punch, you could give your cow a couple of spots. You could decorate his tail a little bit more. I'm thinking this might be a collar and potentially a cowbell. Now there's no, oh, there is a cowbell. It's right there. No, maybe that's not the cowbell. Like I said, I have just pulled this out. I know that I've seen some really cute samples with this, and so I'm really excited about it. So the builder punch, when you punch your paper, you are able to punch out all of these shapes at once and create your little cow. Now you can also stamp the body and the head to punch out those individually if you want to as well. We're going to be doing a little bit of fussy cutting. We're going to be doing some different things here. And I want to point out that this Cutest Cows, I'm going to say cute a few times because they are really cute. The cows can be facing each other. So you've got them orienting to the right and to the left. You've got one that's just kind of tired, just hanging out, right? He's just laying down. I think this is my favorite cow. Now you also have three cow faces. You have closed eye cow, and this one has the little the horns on the head, and then you have two that are front facing. These two right here are actually going to fit in your builder punch. So the ears to the side, you can use either of those with your builder punch, which is really nice. There are three chickens. We have a mama hen, a rooster, and baby chick. This is probably the tiniest, one of the tiniest stamps I've ever seen. The cowbell, as noted, the milk, the classic milk canister, right? Sunflowers, I adore the sunflowers. And then you can, of course, you can make some cow faces if you're just doing your punch art. So there's a lot with this stamp set. Now you're going to see it on page 53 of your catalog. You're also going to see some really cute samples over here. So there's a punch art sample. And then there's a couple of other samples where they've showed you how you can color your cows in to do some kind of fun things. Now I really liked this gingham paper right here, so I decided that tonight's class is going to be all about this glorious gingham designer series paper. So every card that I'm making, and I've got lots of scraps in here, is going to feature some of this great paper, which is two-sided, so we might be switching some things up tonight because that's always fun, right? So let me move this aside. Now I have mounted a ton of these stamps. I mean, like almost all of them are mounted up. So we're going to be stamp happy tonight in our class. Hey, Deb Jurek, I know you love the cows. You have done some amazing things. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, if you like my class this week and you want to get these card kits, as I mentioned, here's our paper, right? Here's this glorious gingham paper. So you're seeing that we're working with lemon lime. We've got a little bit of the pecan pie, and we've got blueberry bushel. So each of these is making its way into our cards. We've got a lot of white and black, but a little bit of pop of color because I didn't want it to be all white and black. So you're going to see some pops of colors. There are 2 card kits per card that you get. So you get 6 card kits with a $40 order. The host code this week is XDTU99RB. And if you bump your order up to 50, not only are you getting a Sale-A-Bration item, you're also getting this beautiful black and white checked ribbon, which you can see is going to go really well with all of our cards tonight. So I'll be using this ribbon on all of the cards. You'll be getting a bolt of this full ribbon for free if you spend over 50 with me using the host code. If you go over 150, you're your own host. Don't use my code because then you can still get all my freebies, but you get to get the Stampin' Up gifts as well. All right, we're jumping in. We're going to dive in here. So our first card, we're playing a little bit with the fun sentiments here. And the sentiment says, what's moo with you? And this one has, of course, all of that great lemon lime. And I love the gingham here. So I took advantage of those little perennial postage dies that you're going to see in the lavender suite because even though they're with the lavender suite, you can use them with everything. I just love nesting dies. I talk about nesting dies quite a bit. You're going to see the amazing little sunflower here as well. I love that sunflower stamp. It is great. And I'm using the same colors over and over again for my class. So these are the only blends I'm using. I'm using Petal Pink, pumpkin pie. I've got the lighter of the basic black because I don't want my colors to be too dark. I've got lemon lime twist. This is Daffodil Delight, if I didn't mention that before, and pecan pie. So there's not like a ton of colors going on here. I tried to keep it kind of simple. I have the same colors here for ink pads that I have for my gingham paper. So lemon lime, pecan pie, and blueberry bushel. And of course, we're going to use Memento because Memento goes very nicely with our Stampin' Blends. So let's dive into card number 1. I'm going to separate out. Now you're getting these really cute postage die cut pieces. You're getting your pre-cut everything, right? So you've got your papers here. We're going to talk about putting this kit together, doing some stamping. I'm going to show you a fabulous trick here for how to figure out where to stamp the sunflowers if you want to create something similar to this card. I'm just going to tuck these away. I do have a card base that is ready, scored. We're good to go here. Lemon lime is a fun color, right? It's a poppin' color for sure. Hi, Amy. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. It's so good to see you on here. All right, so before I get crazy and glue anything down, I have to remember we're doing more than just gluing things down. We have some ribbon wrapping to do, and we have some stamping to do here as well. So let's start with our What's Moo With You piece. This is our sentiment piece. I love little punny things like this. I think they're a lot of fun. So we're going to use Memento, and I just got to start finding all of my stamps. So let me just look here. What's Moo With You? And we're going to talk a little bit about my trivia that occurred today on my Facebook page. So let's start with number 2. I think number 2 was one of my favorite stories of having cows growing up, right? So there was a day as I think I was probably maybe 13, 14, probably 14 years old. It was before I met my husband, so I know it was before then. And the cows got out down the road at my grandma's house. Cows are out. Here I am making chocolate chip cookies in my mom's kitchen. I know my mom was in the garden because I remember getting a phone call from my grandma. My grandma's like, the cows are out. So I, telling my mom, the cows are out, but I'm making cookies. Well, she was like, well, your cousin Robin is here. Why don't you have her work on the cookies while you go chase the cows? And that's what I did. So that is a true story. That is a truth. That was not a lie. I did have to leave the cookies behind, and my cousin Robin finished them. By the time I got home, she was done baking them. So I did a little cow chasing back in my day. Cows got out. Yep. You had to go wrangle them up, put them back. What's moo with you? So number 2, if you were following along on my Facebook today, number 2 was a truth. So now you know it's between number 1 and number 3. So what's moo with you? I'm just taking advantage of this cute little postage stamp here, and we're going to go ahead and glue this down right onto the black postage stamp behind it. So again, nesting dies. I adore them. So we've got our sentiment, and we just took advantage of having our sentiment right here on this piece, just like that. Now we're going to let's stamp our little cow next. This is the lying down cow, and I think he's super cute. She could be super cute. So we get the lying down cow, and then I've got, now as mentioned, I think there are 3 different cow heads. So I want the cow head that has kind of, okay, so he's got the little horns and kind of got the eyes closed. Super cute. So you're going to have in your kit, you're going to have some white paper that you are going to be stamping on. Now, whether you're using cows or you're substituting in, could you substitute in other products? Absolutely. If you don't want to do cows, this could be any element right here. You could stamp anything on here and anything in the background. So the freedom of creativity is really yours, and I think it's fantastic. So on this little piece of paper right here, we're going to stamp lying down cow, and we're going to stamp this little cow. I just think it's super cute. Now you could stamp these together, not on this paper obviously, but you could put this together, which we're going to do in another card, and not have to fussy cut. These particular stamped images do not coordinate with the punch, so we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So we're going to, and this doesn't take as long as you might think. So I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut these, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about cow tails, or cow stories, if you will. So people were kind of curious as to whether or not number 3 was true. As an adult, do I have cow tchotchkes in my kitchen? And the answer is yes, I do. I have probably at least 4 to 6 ceramic cows. I have some cows on tins. That's another one of my collections. I love to collect tins. So I have quite a, maybe at least 2 that I can think of right off the top of my head. That 2 tins that have cow imagery on them. And even though I love, you guys all know, if you follow me at all, you know we have chickens. I love my chickens. And I do have a lot of chicken decoration as well. So my kitchen really is kind of like cow and chicken, and I think there was a cartoon at one point called Cow and Chicken. I'm not really sure. That would have been probably the time my kids were watching cartoons, not me. But I do have both cows and chickens as tchotchke decor in my kitchen. So number 3 is also correct. I do have as an adult, I do decorate with cows. I like cows. I've always liked cows. All right, I'm going to color real quick. You saw me do the fussy cutting. That didn't take long at all. It was pretty easy. The lines are pretty easy to work with. I'm using the lighter of the black, basic black stamping blend here, and it's just because I want this to be black, but I don't want it to overpower the lines that I just stamped with the Memento ink. So I'm just going to color in the cows, beautiful little, this little Holstein cows, beautiful little spots here, and I'm keeping it really simple. Now you can probably see tons of different designs that have lots of different colors for different things. I'm just going to use that, and I'm going to use the light petal pink. I think the light petal pink is a really great color here on the cow's face, and I also just kind of used a little bit in the ears here where there's lines. Easy peasy, nothing crazy. So there's our little cow face. Hopefully you can see this well, and our little cow's body. So this is kind of fun because you can mix and match the different faces with the different bodies. Like I said, there's 3 of each. So we're going to just kind of make this he's kind of like the laying down cow. I really like this one. This one's my favorite. All right, now let's stamp our sunflowers. This is fantastic. I love this part. So you may be wondering, well, like, how do you figure out, we're gonna actually put this together like this so you can kind of see the bones of your card base, right? So if you're not playing with the cow bundle, that's fine. You've got other things you can do. So this is where we're going with this, and you can see that I'm going to be stamping some sunflowers here, kind of along right here, but how am I gonna know how high up to put them without having everything attached, but then I got to stamp? So this is my little secret right here. We're going to just kind of go back to the bones here. We're going to grab out our white cardstock that we're going to stamp on, and we're going to layer this piece next to it. And this piece is what's going to cover over the base of the sunflowers. So with this as my guideline side by side, I will know how far down I want my sunflowers to go. I'm trying to figure out where I want to stamp these and ink these up. Hopefully you can see my what I got going on here. So I'm inking up in Versamark once again. So I'm using this kind of as a guide to determine how far down I want these to go, or how high up I want these to go. So they're going to go right about here. And then if I wanted to, I could put this over here and go, yep, I've got them. That's perfect. I like where they're at. I'm going to line that back up one more time, and we're going to ink up again. And this time I'm going to put my flowers over here to this side. Now you're going to notice that I'm not putting any flowers in the middle. And again, that's because I like to cover things up with layers. So if you were going to keep this open, you'd probably want to center them and then go off your cardstock a little bit. But since I am working with lots of layers, that's all I need to do. Now I'm using the dark pumpkin pie. Yep, dark pumpkin pie. And I wanted to just bring in some bright orange here. I feel like the colors here, these are definitely like a summertime palette. I mean, sunflowers, right? Summertime. So I brought in the orange for the centers of the sunflowers. Actually, I don't even need to color them all. I kind of, I lose track of what I'm doing sometimes as I go, and I'm talking. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to use the Daffodil Delight. I've got the light one here. The dark one would have worked great, except that my dark blend isn't working great. So these blends, while I love them to pieces, I do really love them to pieces, they are consumable items. You will eventually use up all of the alcohol ink in here, and then you have to get more. True story. So I'm just working with a light one here today. I'm not going to bring in dark and do anything fancy and fun. This is quick and easy coloring. This is my kind of coloring. I love quick and easy, and I love to be able to move on and continue. The bigger images, not that I can't color them and don't, I don't know. I don't have the patience, I think. So I am like, let's lay down some quick color. Let's stamp. Let's continue to assemble. Let's, keep going. And that's just me. But if you love to color, again, this is going to be beautiful to color, whether you are a quick coloring girl like me, or you want to color for days, right? So we're going to just bringing in here the lemon lime. Pretty sure I have the dark lemon lime here, and I love this stamp right here with these sunflowers. It's just so cute. So I'm just laying down some quick color. As I get toward the bottom, I'm kind of skipping some here as well, because I'm gonna again be covering this up, and no one's gonna even see that bottom. So that actually does a couple things. It saves me on time, let's be quick, right? And also, how cute is that? I love that. It also saves me on ink, so I'm not wasting my ink as much. Now I could have not colored this one in at all, because this is my cow sticking here. This is going to come over here and cover up a little bit, so I could have avoided probably those two, but I was chit-chatting, and there we go. All right, let's do some assembly, and we're going to get a ribbon on here as well. So I'm going to bring in the different gingham. So we have the two different basically patterns and colors, right? So we've got the smaller checkered, we've got the bigger kind of more ginghamy gingham. I'm gonna call it ginghamy gingham. Hi Margaret, Jay, it's so sweet to see you on here. The flowers are so cute from the cow set. I love them. All right, I'm gonna I know the flowers are, if you're not into cows but you're into sunflowers, this really could be a stamp set that has anyone, I would love to know out there, and I'm guilty, and I know my friend Jane is guilty too, of purchasing a stamp set for one stamp. I think my daughter-in-law Steffi also purchasing a stamp set for one stamp in it because you love that one stamp. You don't even like the other ones, but you got to get that stamp set for one. Look at how cute this is. I love these colors together. This is very cheerful. All right, we're going to put this on our black mat here. I love to add lots of mats to my cards, lots of rich layers. I want my cards to be interesting, complicated, kind of like me. Kind of like me. Interesting and complicated. And fun. Lots of fun. I love to have a good time. All right, so we're going to bring in our ribbon. For this one, we're going to wrap a little bit around the back. So I'm going to grab my scissors here that cut my ribbon only. Now, I want to point out, so I'm still trying out this glass mat, and I ran my tape, my Stampin' Seal. I use this for my ribbons. I ran this right on my glass mat earlier today, thinking it would be a piece of cake to pull it off the glass mat, and it was a little more work than I wanted it to be. I love the silicone mat because it just, the tape peels off here so much easier. So lesson learned, I'm going to continue to pull out my silicone mat when I'm taping, because it was just so much quicker to peel it off of the silicone mat than to clean up the glass mat. So I'm trying things out, checking it out, seeing what I like. Now before I put my front down, I always check to make sure that it opens the right way, or otherwise I'm going to have an upside down card. So I'm just putting this on. Now, none of these layers right now, nothing is bumped up with dimensionals. We're going to get to that point. But right now, how beautiful and sweet is this card? I adore it. I adore it. All right, so with our little What's Moo with You, we're going to bring in some dimensionals now. And we're actually going to add our dimensionals above and below the ribbon rather than on the back of this little black postage stamp, if you will. I'm just going to kind of put this on here to eyeball about where I want it. So I'm keeping a sunflower showing over here and then more on this side. Now you could go the opposite way if you wanted to. You could put it on this side and keep more over here. You could go right in the middle if you wanted to too. Like, these are like so many options, right? I love when I do the in-person card classes, I like to watch as people decide where they want to put things. So as you see, I'm going to go on this side. I've got 2 up and 2 down above my ribbon for the dimensionals. Peel off those backs real quick. And then we're just going to bring in our What's Moo with You. Make sure we have it going in the right direction again. And I'm just going to kind of reposition one more time, making sure I like where it's at. And then I've caught it right there on those dimensionals. Piece of cake. Beautiful. Now my little What's Moo with You cow that we fussy cut, he's going to come on here. He's going to come off. So you're going to see his little behind. He's a little off over here. So we're going to pop a dimensional right here to catch the back end of my cow. So we're going to go ahead and do that and then put a little glue on his head. So the glue on his head is going to hit my little stamp area over here. And we obviously want to make sure we're not covering up our sentiment. What's Moo with You? Super cute, right? And then we're going to create a bow. So as my card is coming to its close here, right? This one's just about done. I would love to know which of these gingham patterns you like better for this one, because I love to share with you that there's lots of ways to be creative, right? Flip your paper over, especially if it's the same color, the same, you know, kind of pattern or what have you. So we've got the smaller gingham, we've got the larger gingham. I think my ribbon might be, my bow might be a little bit bigger than I want it to be. I'm going to back this up just a little bit and trim a little bit more off. And we're going to pop that right on there with a little bit of tear and tape. So cute, right? As I continue to play with my ribbon. So What's Moo with You, everybody? What's Moo with You? So as we've been talking about cowtails today, the 2 truths and a lie. So then clearly, if I've told you that 2 things are true, I have cow tchotchkes in my kitchen, and I had to go chase cows when my cousin finished baking chocolate chip cookies for me when I was about 14 or so. So that leaves us with the lie, and the lie was my number one. I said that I was in a parade with a baby calf that I raised, and I did raise a baby calf, but it was not in a parade. So my calf and I, we did not go into parades. So that was the lie, but it was kind of fun to see who guessed what and who guessed right. I can't wait to go back and comment on all of the comments to say who guessed right. Okay, I'm seeing larger gingham. Oh my gosh, you guys, like hands down like the larger gingham. I think it's a little bit bolder, isn't it? So that's awesome. So that's card number 1. Now if you get these kits in the mail, or if you have this paper, you can create these cards yourself and you'll be able to choose which pattern you want to have showing, because you're getting 2 card kits and the paper is the same on both of them. All right, I'm going to set that one aside. We're going to move on to that was a cow joke, everybody, cow joking. Move on to card number 2. Card number 2, look at this card kit. There's going to be a lot of white, black, a little bit of flirty, and then the pecan pie. This is a really cute card. Utterly adorable, right? So this is our card number 2. We've got congratulations here. A lot of the stamps that are on the Cutest Cows Stamp Set, we've got some really, we've got It's Your Special Day, we've got congratulations, and then the little things you do make such a big difference. Those are your serious, oh, and thank you, sorry. Thank you, those are your serious ones. We've got What's Moo with You as a pun, holy cow, I like holy cow, I say holy cow a lot, and then Milk It for All It's Worth. So there's a few punny type of sentiments here, and depending on what you're using it for, I think this would be a really sweet new baby card, because it's got just kind of some soft color to it. You could obviously change this up and do baby blue instead of the flirty. If you wanted to do a boy, you could do greens here, yellows here. I just think this is a really sweet card. This card is actually inspired by fellow Stampin' Up demonstrator. I saw this with Melissa Faust, and I adored her card so much. I made a couple of small changes, nothing major, which is always nice to do, right? And here we go. We're going to create this gorgeous card together. So I'm just grabbing out everything that I need for one card. I'm going to assemble one with you. I've got my thick white card base here, and again, once again, we've got the gingham where we've got, now I put the smaller one on here. I'm thinking about doing the larger one this time, but and then you're going to tell me which one you like better. So I'm switching it up a little bit just to see what you guys prefer today. But you're getting all of these pieces in your kit. You're getting 2 of everything, which is super generous and fun, right? And oh, Jess, hey Jess, I hope you had a good dinner. Don't ever apologize for being late, right? There's always replay too. So this is our card kit today, and once again, we are going to do a little bit of swapping, and before we put everything together, we're also going to do some more ribbon movement here too. Let's start with our cow piece today. We're going to start with Mr. Cow. This is a different cow, and I'm grabbing the one that has the tail on the right and the head is going to go to the left. So we're going to do that, Mr. Cow. And we're actually going to be doing, let's see, I've got to find my cow face. Cow face, is this my cow? I think this is my cow. I have to look at them both now. I think, nope, I think this is my cow. This is my cow. It's so funny. Once you know these stamps a little bit, you'll kind of know like which is which. It's like with real cows. Like I can tell my chickens apart. You can tell cows apart too. They're all a little bit different if you really look. Now, when you stamp on these, this is from the Stylish Shapes. When you stamp on them, die cuts, just make sure that your stitching is really pretty in the front, because the front side is the nice side, right? You can tell if you look at these up close, the stitching. So stamping on this glass mat is absolutely like a dream. It works out so nicely. So there is the cow's body, and as mentioned, I have the head here, and I have, hopefully, did I put it back in the kit? I probably did. I had a scrap of paper. I had somewhere a scrap of white paper, and if not, I have tons of scraps of paper like hanging out with me in my craft room. I am not finding it, so I'm going to grab a different scrap of paper, but there will be a scrap of paper in your kit. I'm just like determined to keep looking for it though, of course, that you will stamp your cow heads on. So we're just going to pretend this is the scrap of paper, because I apparently can't find one right now. Yours will be bigger than this, but it's sufficient enough that you will be able to ink up your little cow head. Now, cow head of choice, because you can choose 2 different ones to stamp. And then we're gonna look at how cute his little face is. Oh my goodness. All right, so this one works in our punch. And when I only want one item from my builder punch, I usually use a pretty narrow piece that will fit in here and punch out what I need, which right here is the little cow's face. I don't need to punch everything else out, so I don't want to cut like a huge piece of paper, because then it's just kind of wasteful, right? So you'll have a piece of white cardstock in your kit, which I don't know what happened to mine, and you'll be able to punch out little cow's face. Now we're going to put this on here, and it just allows us to have his ears hang off a little bit if we want to, right? So it kind of gives it a little bit more of dimension. Yes, you could definitely stamp it on there, but isn't it cute to just be able to punch that too? So we are actually using a little bit of brown here on the pecan pie. We're taking advantage of the brown in our card design, and we're making a cow that is not black and white. He's going to be brown and white. So I'm going to use the lighter color first, and I'm just going to color in little cow's spots. Now you could, of course, you could leave the spots white and color in the entire rest of the cow for videos, especially like this, where I'm trying to be kind of fast. Of course, I'm going to do the minimal coloring, right? So I am just coloring in the minimal stuff. I'm going to bring in the dark pecan now, and I'm going to do the hoofs, and I'm going to do the tail, and right here, a little tail. And then I'm going to bring in that beautiful little light petal pink, right? And I'm going to come over and do cow's nose here, the muzzle. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of pink to the ears. It's really not very noticeable. And then the udders. And we've got to get the udders in that nice little pink, soft pink color. All right, the only other stamping we're going to do is congratulations. And I will find, hopefully, my little oval. So you're going to get these punched pieces. This is from the double oval punch, which I use a lot. I love the double oval punch. I've got pecan pie just to kind of bring in a little bit more brown here. Also, I like the way that these inks stamp. I think these inks stamp really, really nicely. So we're going to get congratulations. These are, of course, photopolymer, a little bit easier to see through. So hopefully we can get it lined up nicely as well. All right, so let's move that aside. Look at all this good stuff. Now this one's going to go together super quick. This is like a really easy. If you've got some punches, if you've got, you know, just minimal things, this is a really great card to put together quickly. So before we tackle the base, we're going to talk about, first thing we're going to talk about is the Designer Series paper. So again, the pecan pie, I'm going to put the larger check on here this time. I like to know which one you guys like the best. So we're going to add on some. Hey Sandy, I have a new Sandy on here from Maine also. Oh, so good to see you here. I'm glad you found me tonight. So we're going to go ahead and put this larger check up again, this gingham check. And this is going to be just like this. And then we're going to put together some of our other pieces here. So we've got just a nice little bit of a little square. These are easy, right? You guys can all cut squares. This is a 3x3 in black and a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 in the flirty, in case you're wondering. Sometimes I like to throw out some numbers there for you. So I'm just going to layer this on here, leaving a little bit of room here on the white edge, because again, I like the look of like kind of stepped up layers. We've got white, we've got flirty, we've got black. So we've got lots of good things going on here. My little cow, I'm going to actually put the glue right here on my circle, and then I'm going to position the head kind of however I want to position it, right? I've got the glue, so I can wiggle it around a little bit. I can put him down a little bit, I can put him up a little bit. It's kind of fun to be able to move the head around and just position that on there. And then this is going to come over here. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do this before the ribbon or after? I think I'm going to do it right now. We're going to just go. All right, ribbon will come on after I put the cow down. Let's put the cow here. So this is just going to come on here. Again, just a little bit of bright color. So already I'm trying to decide if I like which one better. All right, my ribbon is going to wrap this time this way. So we wrapped last time. This time we'll need a little bit longer of a length of ribbon because we're wrapping top to bottom rather than side to side. So we're going to, in the card, I send you, if you order with me and you get the card kits, I do send you PDF tutorial directions with the card recipes, and in the recipe I do actually recommend how much of a length of ribbon you're going to need for these items where you're wrapping or making a bow. So those directions have that. Now if you've got the ribbon and you just want to work from your heart, pull off whatever you want from your ribbon or work off the spool, those are all options that are up to you. So I'm just going to try to get this laid out here so that I can put this on here right about here. What I'm trying to do is put it just along so that I can still see the pink here, right? So I've got it kind of more toward where the black is, and a little bit here on the back. We'll wrap this around. If your ribbon is ever really excessively long, I do like to trim it a little bit, right? So if it's not like taped down, we'll get rid of some of that just so it's not as bulky on the card base. So speaking of the card base, now we're going to add this on, but we're going to put this on with some dimensionals. So this whole piece right here, we're going to be popping this upward. So there's going to be a few dimensionals being laid out here real quickly. We're going to do, let's see, what's my head count out here? 6, 7, 8. We're going to do 8. So this one is kind of dimensional heavy. You just never know how much detail and how much depth you want, right? So here's this one. Get all of those off of there. Again, making sure that my card base opens in the correct way. And I'm just going to center this on here. Now this white piece is smaller than your first size mat, which is nice because then it kind of gives you more of the background here as well. So you can kind of see how cute this already is, right? So cute. I love the cows. And we're going to go ahead and adhere together our little oval sentiment. That looks like it's a little rough there where I punched that one. And we're going to pop that onto, again, the flirty flamingo. So a little congratulations. Now this could say happy birthday if you wanted. Oh, I really wish this cow set had a happy birthday sentiment in it. I would probably substitute out a happy birthday sentiment because I feel like cow birthday cards are kind of the way to go. But we don't have that in here. So we're just we're working with what we have. And I'm going to be putting dimensionals on the back of my sentiment here as well. And we're going to pop this on the card next. So you can kind of shop this around a little bit if you want it to be higher or lower. I know some people like to put them at the top. So you've got some options, right? You could put it over here. I felt like over here would be fine just because we're going to be putting our little bow on as well. Now, if you don't want a sentiment on there at all, this would be a great card to have just 0 sentiment on it, right? Or you could even stamp the white background here if you wanted to do your sentiment there instead. But I like to have enough things in your card kits that really kind of give you some options, whether you use them on this card kit, you save them for another card kit that you're working with. I just like you to have lots of options. I like a lot of options. All right, so I just made a little bow off the spool. I think that's pretty cute. We're gonna go ahead and put some tear and tape on that and put that little bow down. So now, again, we're trying to decide which one we like better. Big check, little check, big check, little check. I feel like I'm a Dr. Seuss person today. Flo likes the large. That's awesome. Hi, Barbara. Good to see you here. So on our first card, everyone seemed to like the large check gingham best in the lemon lime. I think I like the small one on this one. I'm going with small with the brown. So I think the small gingham is just a little bit more delicate with all of the white. But I need to know what you guys are thinking too. This is just a really sweet card. So that's card number 2. Adorableness going on here. And so I'm going to set this one aside and we're going to move again with the cowing jokes. The cow jokes are rampant tonight. We're going to move on to our last card. And this last card is actually a fun fold. We're getting fun tonight. So this is the card kit. And the fun fold is going to come up like this. So there's a lot of good layers here. Hopefully, I'm just checking to make sure that my camera is showing all these layers. So this is on just a base, right? This card is not like your normal card base, right? But it's going to open up and we're going to be decorating a whole bunch of fun things. So this is a fun fold. So even though it's not Thursday, usually I save my fun folds for Thursday. We're going to do a fun fold today. So how cool is that, right? Holy cow, we're doing a fun fold. And it's your special day is going to go on this one. I might change this up a little bit. I might make the holy cow in blue. After I stamped it earlier, I wish that I had done that in blue. So this is a blueberry bushel. Blueberry bushel and black and white are really it's a classic combination, right? So if you love the blues, blueberry bushel is not one that I use a ton. And I think I'm probably going to be using it more often. This is the white piece that's going to do the cow heads that I was looking for in my other kit. And there should have been one in there, and I'm not quite sure what happened to it. Maybe it didn't make it into the kit. So I'm separating out these two items here, two card kits here, if you will. So you've got the black base. This is your base. You're going to have a blueberry bushel embossed piece. So I don't know if you can see there's some embossing on here. I went with the debossed side up on my card. I kind of like that one better than the embossed side. So the embossed side has the ridges coming up at you, and the debossed has them going down into the card base. So I'm just going to show you here what we've got. I think I threw into my card kit. I should have 2 of these. So your card kit's going to have 4 of these pieces because we're going to be using 2. You're going to have 2 of these die cut pieces. Those are from the Nested Essentials. And this is the fun fold part right here, which we're going to score next. And I'm looking at this and thinking that I did not cut this properly. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is a paper cut emergency. I'm gonna coin that phrase, paper cut emergency. Seeing as how I got my trimmer out, we're gonna start over here and we're gonna cut some more paper. So let me, this is always a really good test for me when I do these live videos, to make sure that I have my notes correct, that I have my papers cut properly, that I have everything in the kits that you're gonna need. I'm just looking for some white cardstock. So let me review my directions really quickly. I needed to have this be 9 3/4. So we're going to bring this over to 9 3/4, which is way over here, 9 3/4. And I don't know if this is in camera view or not, but this is where we're going. We're going 9 3/4. Whoa, look at that. All right, I have a nice little strip right there. All right, now I'm going to bring this down here for a second. We're going to do 4 1/4. So what my directions said, 4 1/4. I need a judge's ruling on that. 4 1/4 is correct. So 4 1/4. So you would be able to get 2 of these out of 1 piece of cardstock. Now, is this bigger than the one that I had previous? It sure is. Now we're cooking. I love it. All right, while my trimmer's out, I did want to score this with you. So we're going to score this together, and we're scoring this piece at 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. So 3 1/4. We're basically going into thirds. So 3 1/4 right here. Scoring, and then 6 1/2. I've got to open my arm back up here real quick, and we're going to go to 6 1/2, scoring this into thirds. This was a 9 3/4 inch piece to begin with, and we should, if my paper emergency is over, we should have this scored into thirds. And we're going to kind of Z fold it, right? So we've got the Z fold, and that's perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and burnish my creases. You want to definitely burnish well when you have a folding component to your card, because otherwise they bounce a lot. They will not lay flat, and so the more you crease them and kind of get those really ingrained in there. I'm trying to not make too much noise on my glass mat. So here we go. This is holy cow, I did it. My paper emergency is over. So this is what we want, and I will make sure that I'm cutting them properly for your card kits, I promise. Okay, so we're going to actually work with this piece before we glue anything down, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. We're actually stamping the entire middle here. So you can see here, this is exactly how I want it. So it's going to fold like this. So let's do the middle stamping first. We're going to do laying down cow. Laying down cow is my favorite. We're going to bring in some more grass. So we're bringing in lemon lime. So I'm keeping the colors very consistent throughout this little card collection, right? I'm not bringing out, 18 million different colors of green and all of that good stuff. I'm showing you that you can continue to use the same colors over and over again. You don't have to have all of them, even though you probably want all of them. I mean, I always want all of them. I understand that. But, if you have just a few things to start out with, you can be consistent and continue to use them, and it's great. I love it. All right, so laying down cow is just going to come right in here, and I'm just going to lay him down on the grass. He's just right there. So there's my little laying down cow, and he needs his face. And this is the face that I like to use. I think this is the sweetest one. This is the same cow I used on the first one. Now on the first one we stamped this and I fussy cut it. Actually fussy cut the body too. And this time I'm just going to line him up. So again with the photopolymer stamp, so you can kind of see where his head would line up to his body. And you're able to get that on there just like that. Hopefully you're not smudging your ink like I just did, but that's okay. Not too bad, right? This is a cow card. If it's supposed to be black and white, it's probably okay if there's extra ink in places that maybe we didn't necessarily want it to be. All right, it's your special day is coming in with blueberry bushel. So I'm just bringing in that blue continuity here. So this is going to come in here and be stamped right here. It's your special day. So cute, right? All right, let's pop that over there. We're going to color our cow. We're bringing back in the same blend. So again, as I pointed out at the very beginning of this class, I'm using very minimal coloring, very minimal colors, but they all work. Now, if you want to get crazy, you can definitely, you could probably make this cow any color you wanted, really. Like he could be a purple cow if you so desired, right? So I'm just kind of using minimal coloring here. We're gonna do his tail, and I did stamp the tail right over the grass, but I'm also coloring right over the grass, so it all works out really well. So don't be afraid to plop that cow down into the grass there, right? You can color over a little bit as needed. So here's his little muzzle again, a little bit on the ears. That's all I need to do. Super cute and quick. Now we do have these really cute little die cut pieces, and I probably threw another one back into my card kit. Okay, we need two. So we're going to have two of them. We're going to have one up here for this cow. We're going to have one down here for the chickens. So let's do the chickens real quick. They are so cute. And if I didn't mention before that I love chickens, I also love chickens. So these are, this is the tiniest little chicken. This is going to be Mama Chick. And this is just for fun, right? So again, just check to make sure that the stitching is up. And we're going to do Mama Chick, and then we're going to do the tiniest little baby chick next to Mama Chick. Now, if you wanted to, you could do more chicks. Actually, I'm just making this up as I go. So now this one has two baby chicks, and these are going to be really quickly colored in with a little bit of pumpkin pie and a little bit of the, I'm just going to kind of dot their little beaks a little bit here, and a little bit of the daffodil. Now this card design, this is not my card design again. I'm taking some inspiration. This one came from Rhonda Wade. So I'm choosing some other great stampers, some other demonstrators' work to showcase. And so this is a really great one that I saw that I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Now we come to the Battle of the Ginghams. This is a gingham night, right? So I'm going to try the smaller gingham here just to see. I think I'm going to cover my Memento ink in case I, have an ink catastrophe. So let's do this real quick. We're going to put this piece down at the bottom. So this is the one that's going to be on the inside of our card. And then we're going to add this little piece right here, right in over here onto the side, leaving a little bit of the gingham to show. How cute. Now this has enough space here inside that you could continue to write more well wishes if you wanted to. So you can take advantage of this space or this space to do those well wishes. Now you can see here we're on to this, we're going to actually put this on right now while I'm looking at this and before I change my mind, right? And you could actually change up your ginghams if you wanted to, and if you could, I don't know if that's something you could do. I don't think I could do a large and a small. I feel like they need to be matching. So hopefully you can see here that they're matching and they're really cute. So now we're going to stamp on this piece right here before we get this all put together. So we need standing cow. We need cow with the tail to the left and the head to the right. So this is, again, another cow body. This is our third cow body. And we're going to just bring in our Memento ink and we're going to stamp this over here, just like so. And on our little piece of scrap paper, we're going to stamp, we need winking cow face. Let me find winking cow face. Winking cow face. I think it's this one right here. It is. Yes, this is the one. This is the one we want. So as mentioned, two of the cow heads work beautifully with the punch. This is one of them. So winking cow. So cute. So we're going to bring this in here and we're going to do this part. This would be fun if you have kids at home, or know someone that has kids at home. It'd be kind of fun to punch out a whole bunch of cows and a whole bunch of cow heads and let them color them and make their own cards. I think, as I'm talking out loud, I know a few grandsons that might be wanting to color some cows here soon, so I might have to punch a bunch of cows and send them on down to my grands. So that could be a thing, right? So I have to practice what I preach. And I know that my grands, they're 2 and 4. They do also enjoy doing some paper crafting, and they're getting into that whole coloring and so on and so forth. So that is super exciting to see as they get older, how creative they can get. All right, so again, the light black, the light petal pink, simple coloring, really simple coloring. My favorite kind, right? Just a little bit of color really is all you need. So now with the head punched out separately, again, we can take advantage of it coming off of this little piece right here. It doesn't have to be stamped, right on there. You could, again, you could, but you don't have to. Now, holy cow, we're getting close to being done with this class. Holy cow is right here, and I'm going to do this in the blueberry. So on my first card, I did it in the memento, and after I did it, I had wished that I had done it in blueberry ink. So now we're holy cowing in blueberry, just to see. I got to move the head off of there, because otherwise, holy cow, I could have a catastrophe. There we go. I love it. I do like that better. I think that brightness from the blueberry makes a big difference. So how cute is that? So my little cow is coming together. We're going to finish the assembly here. So I'm going to show you how to put the ribbon on. We're going to glue some things together, and oh my gosh, this class went by in a blur today. So I'm adding a little bit of glue right to my paper, and that way as I pick up my cow and work with this piece, I'm not getting glue on my fingers because there's glue here and here and here. The glue's down here, so it just makes it a little bit easier. So whenever you're able to do that with pieces, I highly recommend it. There we go. Holy cow, isn't that cute? So this is going to go on here, but first we need ribbon. Now for this one, I've actually wrapped it. I'm going to show you the back here. I wrapped it all the way around. Now you could cut and trim and do all that, but it is going to be seen. So if someone were to flip over your card, actually this is, I would probably cover that up with something too, because I'm not a fan of seeing the ink from the blender pens that kind of leak through there. I would probably grab a scrap, maybe add something on there, maybe some more designer series paper. I'll probably doctor that up. To be honest, that's the first time I flipped it over. Anyway, so I'm going to recommend a lot of ribbon here, because you're going to wrap it and you're going to tie a bow. And you need a lot of ribbon for that, right? I kind of went snug on my first one and wish that I had more. Hopefully I'm not too snug on this one. So we're just going to bring this around this piece kind of in the middle. And I'm making my little bow over here to the left hand side. So I'm going to bring this around and I kind of flatten it out a little bit. If it curls up, just flatten it. I'm going to put it right about here. We'll see how it looks. This can be adjusted, so go ahead and put this together and then make your adjustments. You can take this apart if you need to and readjust. Now, because I had so much ribbon, I have like one really long tail, which is okay, because I can play with that a little bit. And this is twisted, so that's not making me very happy right now. We're going to kind of flip the ribbon. Did I do it? Not quite. We're going to flip the ribbon this way so it's flat on the back, and now it's flat on the front too. How beautiful did that work out, right? So let me remove some of this tail here, because that's a little bit, this is a nicer ribbon. I used more ribbon. See, when you use less ribbon, you end up with, like, I didn't want to cut another, I think I used 15 inches, 15 or 16 inches. I was more generous with ribbon number 2. So the more generous you are, the prettier your bow is going to be. Now, I didn't tape this down at all. You're going to notice that all I did was wrap it. It is the loosest ribbon in the world. It could fly right off of here right now. Technically, it could fly right off of here. So what I'm going to do to secure it, a little bit of tear and tape. And I'm going to put that tear and tape right here. Like right here. That is the only thing holding my ribbon down. So it's loose on the back, and it looks, you know, perfect. This little cow, this little holy cow is going to come over here and it's going to cover up where this tear and tape is, but it's also going to secure my ribbon. So it's kind of doing that double duty that I adore. I am getting low on dimensionals here, but I'm going to grab off the last two and put them on top of my ribbon. And then I'm just going to come through here and grab a couple of pieces here underneath. Now I didn't take off this backing here. You definitely could take off this backing if you wanted to. You could leave it as long as your dimensionals aren't on top of it, because this waxy paper, nothing's going to stick to it. But now this is sticky and we're good to go. So I'm going to come through here and just kind of line up my little cow, and this dimensional should be over farther. I'm going to peel that way. I did not take the backings off. I'm still kind of dry fitting here, and I like it, so we're good. So now that the dry fitting process is completed, I'll grab off my dimensional backings and we'll pop on this adorable little holy cow. And he's going to come on here. I just want to make sure I've got him kind of straight and ready to go. Yep, he's good there. I like how his little ear is kind of leaning into the ribbon here. That is really cute. And I really like the addition of the blue here. My bow is upside down. How funny is that? Kind of an upside down bow. There, a little bit better. All right, so you can see how I've worked that entire inside section before I even put it onto my card base and all those parts and pieces that are just sitting over here hanging out ready to go. So we have, again, once more, we've got the black card base. This is just a 5.5 by 4.25 piece of cardstock, and deciding which side of the embossing you want to leave up can be your first challenge, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mount this on here. This is just the next size down. So there we go. Now we're going to mat this piece on. And this is, again, more black. So we've got that nice black and blue classic-y kind of look. So I'm centering this as best I can as I'm eyeballing it here, right? So centering that on there. And then when we put this piece down, the only glue I need to add is to this very back piece, which is the piece where the little chicks are, right? So this piece is going to be centered right here. These two pieces are going to be loose. So just kind of take a look and make sure that you use a good amount of either adhesive, tear and tape, something strong, because this is the part that's going to come open and closed. And as people play with your card, you definitely want to make sure you have a really good secured glue, right? So it doesn't come flying off the card base. That would be a holy cow moment for sure. So I'm just going to open this up now and then just kind of press again here where my glue and my adhesive is going on here. So this is the card right here. It's all right there at the bottom, and then this is like a fun fold. So when it comes out of the envelope, they'll be able to lift that up and be like, holy cow, it's your special day. So here we go. I've got the large and the small check for our cow, and this one's a toss-up for me, actually. I don't know which one I like better. I do like the blue stamping better, so I definitely like that one better. But let's take a look at the classic cards that we did today. So we've got the Holy Cow Fun Fold. We've got Congratulations over here, really sweet. And then we've got What's Moo with You. So again, every card in this class has I flipped the gingham around so you could see. And Flo says she is loving the larger gingham. That is so awesome. It's a fun class, right? So let me check over here and check out your messages. Oh, Sandra, you're so awesome. Mooberry bushel. I love it. Thank you for punning with me. The blue gingham card is Jess's favorite. Linda says they're all cute. And Sandy says she loves all the cards just submitted in my order. Thanks, Sandy. That's so awesome. The card kits that I show on Monday, I will mail out the following Monday. So today, I went down to the post office, and if you placed an order with me last week, they're in the mail. So those card kits just went out. I'll be sending you card recipes probably tomorrow that go with the card kits you'll be getting from. So every week, new class. It's so much fun. And Flo says she loves the larger gingham. I do too. I really do too. Except for that second card, I really like the smaller pecan pie Gingham the best. Hi from the Cape. It's so good to see you on here too. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the class today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the video comments and I'll come back through and check them out and try to get back to you as well. Thanks for hanging out with me for a good hour here on Monday night, checking out the cutest cows ever. Now, as you know, on Wednesdays on Positive Paper Crafters, I do a color swap. So one of these cards, whether it's the blueberry bushel, the lemon lime, or the white one that has pecan and flirty, somebody's getting a color swap. So one of these cards I'm going to redo with brand new colors, and you can vote your favorite over on Positive Paper Crafters on Wednesday. And then Thursday I'll be back at 3 with something fun, right? Because the cows are cute, but they're also fun. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for taking your time and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And we're going to keep the puns coming this week. So that's what I got for you. And until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.